Brock Purdy ate all of the metal and iron that he possibly could this offseason.
Whoa.
There are pictures from last year to this year, and he is just properly jocked, understanding that he wanted to get the upper body, maybe the show muscles a little bit better. He's probably asking himself, there's a lot of people that don't want to give me any credit. You think it's because my arms aren't just fucking yoked? So then he decided to get yoked. I don't know what it is. I love everything about it. This is the evolution of Brock Purdy. Continue to build the body and the brain of a professional athlete and of an NFL quarterback. The guy's already accomplished so much, so it's hard to remember that he is so young, still learning, still evolving. AJ, he is absolutely jocked, pal.
He is. Have you ever seen the clip wherever George Kittle was talking about him and how this dude's quads are absolutely jacked? He talks about McAfee and Purdy and how jacked their lower body was, and how people don't really understand how jacked Purdy was, and here we go. I mean, I guess it's like Michael Jordan. Didn't he get beat up a little bit early on in the playoffs, and he said, all right, I'm going to go to the weight room, put on 20 pounds of muscle, then I'm going to go and just win championships pretty much every year.
Yeah, and with Tua, there's like kind of a bunch of things happening with body. He knows exactly how it's going to feel now. He knows what he's going to have to deal with. You know, do I have to be a little bit bigger? I don't know if he wants to break a couple more tackles.
Yeah.
I don't know if he wants the fall on the ground if he gets hit to be a little bit lighter because you got a little bit more muscle around you. I don't know if he wants to get stronger throwing the ball. And if that's going to happen and he becomes an even better downfield passer, I think had the longest yards per catch in the entire NFL, even though everybody says he just checks down and he's a system quarterback. It's like, I think we're going to continue to see Brock Purdy change as a human as well as obviously a football player. He'll probably get more confident talking. We'll hear more. We'll learn more about him as a person as he goes on. But you're talking about the beginning of a superstar roller coaster. And this is Kennywood, baby. This is the beginning of going all the way up to altitudes that nobody else can get to. You know what I mean, D-Buck?
Yeah, or maybe it's not having Trent Williams out there protecting his blind side. Like, yeah, maybe I should get a little more yoked up top. But Brock, we mentioned it. Like, him being so young, we do forget. Like, and then you look at all the important QB metrics, and he's at the top basically since he's become a starter. And to your point as well, him throwing the ball down the field, those attempts. Obviously, you got to get Brandon Ayuk back in the fold. You got to get Trent Williams back in the fold. But I loved everything that I've seen from Brock Purdy since his first snap in the NFL.
And teammates see him and go, oh, this guy's been working his ass off all offseason.
Mm-hmm.
That's literally the first reaction. It's like, have you seen how big Brock got this offseason? The dude's been working his ass off. It's like very evident. Like, I showed up at a training camp one time a little fat, a little chunky. Everybody noticed.
Sure.
You know? And the first thought is, oh, this guy didn't do anything all offseason. It's like, well, actually, my metabolism slowed down. I didn't notice. Okay?
Getting older here.
I was still doing all the...
I was getting hammered all the time.
I was getting hammered.
Did you feel going in, though? Did you feel going in that you were in like normal shape like you should? Or did you were you a little worried?
No, yeah, I looked at the mirror too. Yeah, I saw it. I saw what everybody else was seeing. And I'm Irish, so there was a little bit here.
Sure.
And there's a little bit on the sides. And in football pads, those two things are
combined.
Very noticeable. Very noticeable.
All white, too?
Yeah, and the Colts, yeah. Yeah, so I noticed.
How long did it take you? What did it take you? A couple weeks to get to where you felt good?
End of training camp, I didn't look as much of a fatso, but it was not great. But people, that's like kind of the immediate judgment for me was like, oh, this guy didn't do shit all offseason. He was just fucking, look how sloppy he is. It was like I did, but I did the same exact amount, just the same exact amount of everything else too. And turns out my body's a little different now. We're all learning. We are learning. We are moving forward. You see Brock like that, you think to yourself, this guy fucking crushed it this offseason. And you start thinking to yourself, he's like, he's the most underpaid quarterback in the history of the NFL.
By far.
In like the history of the NFL. With where contracts are right now, he's the most underpaid quarterback in the history of the NFL. So for everything he's already done, in his mind, he's probably like, there's so much more, there's so much to go get right now. Locked in, focused, same offense for another year with Shanahan. I mean, it's like Brock Purdy's primed to have another incredible year, AJ.
Yeah, he is. What impresses me about Brock is no matter how big and jacked he gets, whatever, like, the dude seems to be playing like at a different speed from day one. You hear Lombardi talk about it, like how he goes through his progressions. Like, okay, here, 1 to 2 to 3. This is what I'm looking for. Whatever the defense gives me, like he knows what he's doing. He's not just out there winging it. I think there's definitely quarterbacks out there that are thinking, hey, if my first option's not open, I have a hard time kind of getting through the rest of my progression. I think that's the best thing Brock has done since he got in the league, which is pretty much the most difficult thing to do as an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, in between the years, he was there since literally his first snap in the NFL. Now, he didn't start immediately upon day one, but whenever the season was like, 66% through, I'd say. I don't remember the exact week. He gets dropped in there, and him and George Kittle were immediate. That was like George Kittle's first real action of the year.
Yep.
And him being able to dissect these defenses that were in prime, they were midseason form. these defenses whenever he gets dropped in there. And it's his first game, and he's already picking up disguises and seeing where people are at. And they're like, well, it's a system. It's like everybody's playing in a system. That is, can you read the system? Can you dissect the system? Do you know where you're supposed to go with the ball in the system? And last but not least, can you put it there? And it's like accuracy insane, arm insane, brain absurd, his humility's through the roof, and now he's fucking jacked. So I don't know what we're going to see, but I'm pumped to watch this iteration of Brock Purdy.